Leicester City are a football club in crisis. Leicester City currently sit 19th in the Premier League table on 14 points with a goal difference of -21. We are 2 points from safety, that is Wolverhampton Wanderers. They do, though, have a game in hand. And if they win that, Leicester City will find themselves 5 points off safety. It was a decent start to life under Ruud van Nistelrooy at the King Power Stadium. We won one game and drew the next against West Ham and Brighton. But since that point against Brighton, Leicester City have fallen to 5 straight league defeats against Newcastle, Wolves, Manchester City, Liverpool, and Aston Villa. Now, under Steve Cooper, a lot of Leicester City fans, including myself, felt that he was not getting the best out of the current Leicester City squad. And in fact, some of us even suggested that this squad is capable and good enough of staying up in the Premier League this season. But as time has gone on, as performances have improved, but errors have continued, it is becoming clearer and clearer that this squad needs significant investment this January transfer window in order to survive in the Premier League this year. Now, the reason that I and many believe that this club is in crisis right now is all because of PSR. That is what it all stems down to. In fact, Leicester City got off twice, in theory. Once, the EFL tried to impose a business plan against us last season in the Championship. We successfully fought that off. And then later that year, in the summer, we fought off a charge from the Premier League on the technicality that we weren't a Premier League club when we breached. But the problem now is the EFL are waiting for us. And if we do get relegated, I've had it confirmed from a source at The Athletic that Leicester City will be given points deductions, a business plan, and probably even a transfer embargo if we are relegated this season. Which means, in my opinion, that this January transfer window, this month now, is probably the most significant transfer window, the most critical one that we have ever had, and probably the most critical one that we will have for many, many years. Now, let's talk a little bit more about the transfer windows. So, I want to start this off by saying that I am not naive enough to think transfers are like they are in Football Manager or on FIFA career mode. This isn't something that you, as soon as we hit 1st of January, we get deal after deal after deal over the line. However, Ruud van Nistelrooy has been in charge of this football club for over 4 weeks at this point. Why have no deals been lined up, ready to go for the opening of the window? We are already seeing clubs around us towards the bottom of the Premier League making moves in the transfer market. Wolverhampton Wanderers have confirmed a £20 million signing for Reims defender Emmanuel Agbadou. They are also looking to make a move for Brighton Hove Albion's Adam Webster. They are clearly improving and strengthening their back line, and that is something that Leicester City really need to do, but have no signs of doing just yet. Ipswich Town, who have had a good few results of recent, they have now added Ben Godfrey, the centre-back on loan from Atalanta. Again, it's probably a defender that improves Leicester's backline and gets straight in the team, yet we have allowed him to go on loan to Ipswich. It's a deal. It's a player that Leicester City should have been all over, free, on loan, but no, Leicester City once again are sleeping. So what have Leicester City been linked with? Well, we've been linked with a move for striker Emmanuel Latte-Lath from Middlesbrough. We have been linked with Chancellor Mbemba. We've been linked with Lillian Brassia and also Evan Ferguson from Brighton and Hove Albion. 2 strikers, 2 defenders. Now, you could argue that the striker situation should not be a priority, and I'd probably agree with you. But the 2 defenders that we are linked with, do they improve Leicester City's backline? Yes, they probably do. Are they good enough to keep us in the Premier League? It's questionable. Would we take it? Absolutely at this point. But again, Leicester City have no signs of making these deals happen anytime soon. We do have games coming up against Crystal Palace, against Fulham, also a game against QPR in the FA Cup that we're not too bothered about. But the longer we leave these deals, the longer that we leave recruitment, the harder it is going to be to get out of this mess. Now, of course, Leicester City are probably still kneecapped in one way, shape or form on the PSR front. we probably do risk further points deductions if we make these signings, if we spend too much money. It is important to remember Steve Cooper spent £80 million on the likes of Jordan Ayew, Oliver Skipp, Bilal El Khanous earlier this year, with some of them being decent successes at the King Power. But the Oliver Skipp one stands out for me as a ludicrous signing. £25 million for a player that isn't really amazing at anything. Defensively, going forward, even passing is questionable. Why did we spend so much money on a player that didn't instantly improve our first 11? And that is the worry from Leicester fans going into this January transfer window. The worry is that even if we do make signings, will they be the right ones? Well, I think a lot of fans are hoping Ruud van Nistelrooy does have a better eye for a player than Mr. Cooper, and that his choices are signed off by the club's hierarchy, Top and John Rodkin. But the history of dealing with signings in such a critical and stressful time, the history shows that Leicester City, under high pressure situations like a January transfer window when you're trying to stay up, often don't result in successful recruitment. Think back to 2 years ago, Brendan Rodgers in charge of the football club. Leicester City needed to strengthen their squad in order to stay up. We signed Harry Suter from Championship outfit Stoke. We signed Victor Christiansen from Copenhagen. And we signed Tete on loan as well. Now, of course, you could argue that Victor Christiansen was a success in some way, shape or form. I mean, he has played majority of the games for Leicester City this season, albeit not impressively. He, of course, was on loan last season at Bologna and qualified for top four. So we know that there is a player in there somewhere. But Harry Suter barely made an impression on the Leicester City fans and the managers that have been in charge since Brendan Rodgers. Tete didn't work out as planned. And last season in the Championship, Enzo Maresca only wanted one man, the midfielder Stefanos Sensi, and we couldn't even get that over the line. If Leicester City don't strengthen this squad enough this January, we will be relegated. There is no question in my mind about that. Now, I'm sure the club are weighing up their options. They are looking at the players out there available. But the real problem in my mind is what quality, what level are these players at? Are they going to be shopping in Poundland again like they were the year Leicester City got relegated under Brendan Rodgers? Are we going to be looking for free signings, for free agents, for loan deals? It remains to be seen. There were some unreliable rumours that we were willing to spend up to £150 million this window, which a lot of people looked at and thought was BS, probably because PSR is looming over our heads. But I think we really, really need to spend that much money to get out of the bottom three. Too much money was wasted on dead wood last summer, which means this month we are going to have to play catch up. We need a right back. We need at least 2 centre-backs in my mind. We need a right winger to replace the injured Abdul Fattah, and we probably need another striker as well. Unless you're signing deadwood or talent that probably isn't good enough to keep you up in the Premier League, the chances are you are going to have to spend over £100 million. Do you see us spending £100 million this window? Let me know in the comments below, because I think if we don't, we will be going down, and it will probably be a long time before we get promoted again.